At 6:07.
This meeting is being transcribed and summarized.
With no action recorded from the session. Start with the pledge of allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice.
We will welcome to our meeting tonight. Great to see everyone here. And we will start with our recognition of the Red Ribbon Art Contest winners. Cochran, Director of People's.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Kim Cochran, proud Director of Pupils Safety and Attendance for our school district. With me is Karen Epla. She's our district department secretary, and couldn't do this work without her or the rest of the team behind the scenes. So thank you for being here tonight. Can we go full screen?
Yeah. You're welcome.
So we're super excited to share our Red Ribbon Art Week contest winners this evening. We had so many entries this year. It was really a difficult process, but the panel who looked through them all had a very good time, analyzing and picking out their favorites and then arguing to the bitter end for the grand prize winners. So congratulations everyone who participated and for those who could make it this evening. All right, from kindergarten, our district winner is Natalie Granados, kindergartner at Linda Verde. First grade from Miller Elementary School, Isaac Jaramillo. Fourth grade winner from Miller Elementary, Faith Kessner. Fifth grade from Desert View Elementary School, Maybella Villeros. Sixth grade from New Vista Middle School, Luna Chavez. Seventh grade from Linda Verde School, Genesis Rosales. And eighth grade from Linda Verde School, Josabeth Torres. Our families, you are more than welcome to come close to the front to take photographs if you'd like to. We're getting ready to announce our grand winners. Our top 3 grand winners will have their artwork displayed on a billboard from January 26th through February 1st. The location of that billboard is 17th Street West and Avenue K. And each one of those grand prize winners will have that information in a letter to take home with them as well. Stay here. We're ready for the grand prize winner. Isaac Jaramillo, first grade from Miller. heavy bag. Fourth grade district winner from Miller, Faye Paxton. And our eighth grade grand prize winner from Linda Verde, Josbeth Orred. So again, the top 3 grand prize winners will have their artwork displayed on a large digital billboard on 17th Street West at UK from January 26th through February 1st. Congratulations.
Buenas tardes. Para los que son los ganadores, los últimos 3, su arte va a estar en una carteleta localizado en la avenida Calle 17 Street West y va a estar demostrándose desde enero 26 hasta el 1 de febrero para aquellos padres que tuvieron ese siguiente.
Again, it wouldn't be possible without the sponsorship of Lamar Advertising. So we appreciate them and thank them for displaying our Red Ribbon Week Art Week winners on their billboard. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Kim, and all the work your department did. And thank you, parents and students. Great artwork. We love all the puzzle drawings, and we can't wait to see them on the billboards around town and the great message that they're telling everyone in our community. Thank you for coming tonight. I know if you do have homework and you do need to leave, you can. We are going to be continuing for the board meeting, but we know if you guys have other things to do, feel free to leave if you need to. Thank you again. Next, we have our Better program. Alicia Casey, Director of Student Equity.
Good evening. So for the past 3 years, our district has partnered with Cal State Bakersfield to provide a residency program that takes a team approach to supporting resident teachers, not only to acquire the credentials that they need, but then also to equip them with the skills and classroom experience to be successful when they are hired in the district and also beyond. The Student Equity Department, which also includes our mentor teachers at sites, the CIA department and HR are the district team working with our university. So the residents are with us for a full calendar year. They're working in the classrooms with their mentor teachers Monday through Wednesday. They attend their college courses on Thursday, and then they sub with us in our district on Fridays to prepare them to be hired within our district. The resident teachers also, they also are part of professional learning, not only at the site, but then also at the district level. So today, we are here to celebrate our graduating Better Program residents of 2025, and then also to recognize all of the residents, mentors, and the staff that have been a part of supporting this program for the past 3 years. The Better Program, which was formerly known as the Black Educator Teacher Residency Program and is now known as a Boundless Educator Teacher Residency Program, is an alternate pathway for students seeking a preliminary teaching credential. And so in order to align with our current demographics, the Better Program puts a focus on the education of our students of color and also utilizes data to inform instruction and support the implementation of culturally responsive and sustaining practices. It also provides a network of mentors and staff who are dedicated to supporting them. So we are proud to say that this year we have 5 residents that are completing the Better Program, and they are here with us today, and our mentor teachers will be recognizing our 5 residents. So we're going to start first with Michaela Ellis, who is a kindergarten teacher at Monte Vista.
Thank you. I'd like to recognize Cindy for completing the 2025 Better Program. During her year in the program, Cindy demonstrated a deep commitment to her students and her growth as an educator. She consistently showed care and kindness, working intentionally to build strong, trusting relationships with our students. She put in significant effort to truly know each child, and she was talented and a very creative writer. She skillfully incorporated her strengths into engaging and well-designed lessons that captured students' interests and encouraged meaningful participation. Her creativity, dedication, and genuine care for students made her a valued presence in our classroom. Her passion for teaching and her dedication to students were evident every day. Congratulations to Cindy, and thank you so much for being a part of the Lancaster School District.
We're going to invite Cindy up here with us. Now we're going to invite Anjali. She's a 6th grade teacher at Desert View.
To recognize Elijah for completing this program. Throughout his time in the program, Elijah grew as a teacher, built amazing relationships with students, and became more creative in developing exciting lesson plans. Elijah, your hard work has paid off. You're already an amazing teacher. It was an honor working with you, and I'm so excited for what's to come. Congratulations on being one step closer to becoming a teacher in the Lancaster School District.
Next, we're going to have Tanae. She's a 5th grade teacher at Discover.
And I would like to recognize Aaron Latanzi for completing the 2025 Better program. During his year in the program, he began to build his teaching foundation by building rapport with his students and showing up every day with determination, even when things got hard. You can tell that he has a genuine passion for the work. Congratulations, Aaron, and thank you for being part of the Lancaster School District.
Next, we have from El Dorado, Laquina. She's our 3rd grade teacher.
I would like to recognize Anakin for completing the 2025 Better program. During his year in the program, Anakin was always on time and willing to help students in any way he could. He would push through even during those tough times. Anakin has shown perseverance during his program because even when he had a hard day, he did not let that stop him. And instead, he reflected on his day to see how he can change it for the better the next day. One of the components of being a great educator, you have to be able to stop and reflect. Congratulations, Anakin, on being steps closer to becoming a teacher in the Lancaster School District.
Last, we have Sharon, who is a 1st grade teacher.
I'd like to recognize Lakaya for completing the 2025 Better program. During her year in the program, Lakaya has become not only a part of our classroom family, but also a part of our 1st grade PLT family. She has contributed great ideas to discussions, and the students love to see her each day she was there. Congratulations, Lakaya, on becoming a teacher in the Lancaster School District. She will be teaching kindergarten in Mariposa for the remainder of the year.
So we want to say congratulations to our 2025 resident teachers, and then also a thank you to our mentor teachers. We also have Amber, who's a 1st grade teacher at Lincoln, who want to come join us. She was also a mentor for this program. You guys don't mind, turn around and say hello to the board. And then we would also like to invite up Todd, Krista, if you come. So we're going to have Mike come too, because we appreciate all of the support that you've given with the Better program. And we do want to say thank you to the board and executive cabinet for your support of the Better program for these last 3 years. So thank you very much. Our mentors and future teachers. please come down so we can huddle up and take a quick picture.
Thank you, Alicia. Thank you so much too for all the mentors, all the work that you've put in, training them and teaching them, and to the new teachers on your journey here at the Lancaster School District. We really appreciate all your work, and we look forward to your growth here in the future. Thank you so much. With that, we're going to move on to item 10, informational items, enrollment report.
Yes, for total U2K to eighth grade, we have 13,606. Learning department for the school, 341, for a total of 13,947, which is a gain of 10 students from the last board report. And out of that 13,947, we have 1,133 that are homeless, 283 that are fostered, and 688 that are connected to the armed forces. Thank you very much. So we have a presentations, requests, proposals, and reports. California Dashboard, Dr. Melissa Wood, Director of Compliance and Accountability. Kristen Thompson, Director of Curriculum, Instruction, Assessment.
Good evening. So I have the honor tonight to open up the conversation about the California Dashboard. Little delay, it's a little delay. This is an exciting year because we've seen tremendous growth, which we'll be able to speak about here. But what I'm going to do to start this off is just talk a little bit about what the California Dashboard is. And just so you know, there is an app for the California Dashboard. So if this interests you, you can go in and you can peruse the app, and it gives you lots of information about our schools. So the California Dashboard pretty much has an equity-based approach. It takes different measurements that allow us to look at the child more as a whole child approach rather than just one number like it did in the past. And so we can get in and we can look from the district perspective, the school perspective, the student group perspective to see how our kids are doing and whether or not they are improving. No longer are we just looking at a number as to whether or not children are proficient, but rather are our schools improving? Are our kids improving out there? Which makes me love the new system that we have. Not so new anymore. So our California Dashboard codes how we're doing by color: red, orange, yellow, green, and blue. It codes us by our current performance and how well we're improving based upon the standard of what is proficient for the test. And when I say the test, the SBAC test, or what's standard for attendance, or what's standard for suspensions, or EL progress. So we'll get into that a little bit more as we go through. And how well we're doing is basically the color that you're going to see. And I'm going to talk about that
this one. So here's an example of academics. So this is what we call a 5x5 matrix or grid. And this one in particular is for language arts. So when we look at this, not everybody knows what all of this is saying. But what I can tell you is that right is right. You want to be on the right, on the grid, to show that we are improving our test scores, our attendance, our suspensions, whatever it is that we're looking at. And we'll go into that a little more in depth. So when you're looking at where the schools land on the 5x5 or where the student groups land on this 5x5, you want to see that right category where it says increase significantly. Where you see increase significantly, it means that they have raised at least 15 points, and the state recognizes that 15 points on the Smarter Balanced Assessment is statistically significant. And you will find that many of our schools hit that mark this year, which is super exciting. We also can look at increased here. Increase obviously means that we're making progress towards standard, but to really close that achievement gap, we're trying to get that increase significantly. And I know that we have teachers out there who follow tonight's board out on YouTube. I'd like to thank all the teachers out there, because tonight is your night. Parents, tonight is your night. Students, tonight is your night, because we are celebrating the fact that significant improvement for the first time ever has happened for the Lancaster School District. I just a shout out to those teachers out there, because I know you're always looking for a win. This is your win. This is the year it's been validated. Congratulations. So I won't spoil what she has to say. So if we look at this, yes, the middle one means maintain. Then we have increased and significantly increased. If you continue to significantly increase, you will eventually move up to the high right corner. So we want to be as high as we can be to the right in that blue box. That's what we're inching to. So we can start at orange and then move all the way up to blue, and we will close those gaps. And we have started to close those gaps, which is super, super exciting. Now, with that said, there are areas, like I was saying, that they measure the academic growth. So English, math, English learners. And then we also have the chronic absenteeism and suspension rate. And specific student groups, they take all the student groups and they break it down. So if you go on that app or even on the website itself, you can see all the breakdowns. But of course, we can provide that for you to the board, and we obviously do to executive cabinet as well. So we can see very targeted which groups need our targeted assistance and which groups are excelling. So this is a snapshot. This is a snapshot of where we are right now. These are called the color indicators. This is super exciting for someone like me, because I look at chronic absenteeism and I see yellow. I look at suspension rate and I see yellow. I see language arts and I see yellow. And English learners and math, no red. So if I go back to the previous slide, and again. Thanks, Billy. Thank you out there. Yes. If I go back to this slide, as you can see, there was no red. And in order to have no red, that means they must have been to the right, either in the increased column or the significantly increased column. So all of these categories increased in a positive direction because there is no red. And as you can see, even if you see orange, you can see that you can still be statistically significantly
improved and recognized by the state of California as having significant improvement, even with orange. And that's where we are. So
All right, you're
let's
good.
go back to here. So at this point, I'm gonna let Krista have all the glory here. And she's gonna take it on and show you just how much we've grown. All right, so this slide shows you the snapshot, like Melissa was saying, where we are yellow, orange, or yellow, pretty much across the board. When you look at this by itself, it looks like we're doing all right. We're doing okay. I'd love to see green. I'd love to see blue. Our work is not done. But when you look at what we've done in the past, this is where the celebration really comes to play. So looking at this slide, you've got a comparison from our dashboard in 2024 to our dashboard in 2025 with our 5 indicators here. So chronic absenteeism, we stayed yellow, which is great. We'll maintain that. Yellow is not a bad place to be. So we stayed yellow from 24 to 25. Our suspension rate, look at this. We went from red to yellow. We skipped over orange completely. That's significantly significant. That's an amazing growth. English learners, we went from yellow to orange. We're not going to super celebrate that, but we've got some things in place, and we'll talk about that here in just a second. Math, we went from red to orange. We are growing. We're doing some really great things. And I want to talk about language arts because the CIA and I can do. We went from red to yellow. All right, skipped over orange completely. I want to tell you that never in the history of our dashboard, which has been since from 2017, have we seen yellow in language arts. Never. This is huge for us. We've been working really, really hard in academics, and so it's finally starting to show some payoff here. So again, I want to reiterate what Melissa said. Thank you to our teachers and our administrators out there. The teachers are working really hard to make this happen, and our families as well. So congratulations to y'all. But wait, we're not done. I do want to talk about a couple things that we're doing in each of these categories. So this doesn't happen on accident, right? You don't just get these scores and things are hunky-dory. We're working really hard and making some really concerted efforts in these areas. So just to highlight a couple things, with chronic absenteeism, we have attendance teams that are focusing on contacting families early with attendance concerns. We're trying to break down some barriers to support families getting kids to school, kind of removing some barriers that get in their way. We send monthly digital postcards that show student progress using a color-coded thermometer. It's a digital visual to show, green equals you're doing great, but red equals we need to address this immediately. We've got an immediate concern. So that's made a huge difference in making families aware of the attendance and the impact that not coming to school is having on students. When it comes to suspensions, we've been utilizing restorative practices and other means of correction to prevent suspension and address concerning behaviors. We have some active supervision strategies to keep campuses safe, huge effort going into that. And we're ensuring some basic needs are cared for, such as breakfast in the classroom and providing mentors on school campuses to help support with student behaviors. Now we talked about English learners for a second. Yeah, we did decline just a little bit in English learners, but I'm not worried. We're going to get there. We are implementing a new ELD curriculum. We've got some new language arts curriculum that we implemented this year that will help support those efforts as well with English learners. With math, there's a new framework out there. And so we've been working for several years now on understanding this new framework and its focus on big ideas, collecting standards instead of teaching standards individually, looking at big ideas across the standards, collaborative learning, math practices, and focusing on conceptual ideas. We've got about half of our teachers have been using a new curriculum with that framework, so we feel like that's part of the reason that we're seeing some growth in math. And in language arts, you've heard this, but I'll talk a little bit more about this some other time, but we have really worked hard in the last 4 years to shift our instructional practice to focus more on structured literacy, with a focus on foundational literacy, and then working on some really strategic and focused standards-based instruction and learning with comprehension in the upper grade levels. So in grades 3 through 5, we've had intensive training and implementation of new curriculum that really focuses on standards mastery, getting that comprehension in and learning the comprehension and how to teach students to read, learning to read as opposed to reading to learn. And then K2, as you know, we've been focusing on SIPs and Integrity, which are the curriculum that supports our focus on foundational practices. So looking at phonics, phonemic awareness, fluency, decoding. This has been a really intensive focus area for us, a lot of training, a lot of support, coaching support in the classroom to help our teachers change the way that they teach language arts. And it's paying off. And then in our elementary grades across language arts and math, we have had a huge push for standards-based instruction and grading. We now have standards-based report cards that look at how our students are mastering the standards as opposed to just A, B, C, D, F. So that has all contributed to the growth that you're seeing here. All right, but wait, there's more. So we talk about equity. On this slide, you see the 14 student groups that is reported on the dashboard. I just want to highlight a couple things. This report right here, this slide shows the number of student groups that have improved their status from 24 to 25. Basically, what we're going to see is the number of student groups that move out of the red and orange categories and into yellow, green, and blue. So you can kind of see the difference between 24 and 25, but to highlight a couple things, in the suspension category, we had 5 student groups in 2024 and only 1 in red in 2025. We had 0 in the green group in 2024, but in 2025, we have 4 student groups that are green. That's a huge growth. That's very something to celebrate hugely. Math in the red category in 2024, we had 8 student groups. We decreased that to 2 student groups in 2020. Huge growth. And I didn't list which student groups those are, but you can actually get that data too. I can give that to you. And then in language arts, we had 7 in red last year, and this year only 1. 6 of our groups moved out of red. That's incredible. And we even had 1 that moved into green. So this speaks to this specifically speaks to our status with accountability with the state, whether or not our sites are CSI or ATSI, which Melissa will address in just a second. So this growth is incredibly wonderful for us in terms of how we're held accountable. A couple last things here. I just want to highlight a few schools. Melissa talked about the right-hand side of that 5x5 grid, wanting to be all the way over. So what you're seeing here is our sites that showed significant increase on the academic side. So in ELA, math, and for our English learners, they increased their scores by 15 points or more. Or they are in that right-hand column with significant growth, significant increase. So I'm not going to look at everybody, but I do want to highlight for our English learners, Joshua and New Vista went from red to green. They skipped over 3 colors. That didn't happen by accident. They were doing some very strategic and targeted things for those students. For suspensions, again, I'm not going to highlight the whole slide, but please notice our folks that are in the blue. We had 4 sites that went from whatever color they were into blue. Blue is an amazing color to see on here. That's the highest you can get. So 4 sites landed in blue from 24 to 25. A lot of sites decreased in suspension, significant decrease in suspension. So this is a great indicator of how we're doing on suspensions across the sites. And then finally, decline in chronic absenteeism. A lot of sites skipped colors in this one as well. So there's about 7 or 8 sites here that skipped a color. I do want to point out we erroneously left off El Dorado on this slide. They did have a significant decline in chronic absenteeism. So El Dorado is a yellow to yellow. And by the way, just because you don't change your color doesn't mean you didn't significantly increase. So you are still in that right-hand column. So El Dorado does belong on this chart as well. So a lot to celebrate with the dashboard. We saw some significant, incredible growth that we're super proud of. So just wanted to take a moment to brag. And now I'm going to turn it back over to you.
Okay. So I just want to give everybody a heads up. You might see yellow for a while. The reason why you might see yellow for a while is because green represents proficiency at standard. So we know and we recognize that we're not quite at standard, but as long as we're chugging along and we're doing that 3 to 15 point growth every year, that's why you will see yellow to yellow as a celebration, because they will stay in yellow till the moment they become grade level. Once they're at grade level, they'll turn to green. So if you go on that app, you can peruse all the different types of matrices. Matrices. I know it was one of those things. You can go and you can check it out. You can see all the student groups. You can see all the schools. You can see how the district performed in general. And it's really exciting to see all the results. We know that it takes a village, and we are getting all kinds of input
from our educational partners. We're using this information to craft our strategic plan and our LCAP, our new LCAP goals that will be coming up. Obviously, our SIPTA goals as well. And we'll just continue this to inform us so that way we know what to focus on. We have CSI, ATSI, and TSI schools, and we have this year only one site now that is a CSI school, only one site in the entire district. So that is exciting. It's to all the work that is being done, all the way, families, students, teachers, certified staff, classified staff, the paraeducators, the administrators, you all, it takes all of us to make this happen. We're not going to see growth unless we see the whole child is supported, and they are. And we can't teach math or language arts unless we have our teachers, good viable curriculum, a good plan, and kids excited to be there, engaged. They need to be in the seats and learning. So we're excited to see this also continue next year. Thank you, Dr. Marietti. Do you have any questions for us?
Wow, that is some fantastic news. Any questions from the board, comments?
Say that seeing this improvement is fantastic. Our district does work hard. The teachers, Gina, and the rest of the teachers, thank you very much. For Todd bringing on the paras and the new teachers, good job. Looks like we're getting some excellent support. So thank you very much.
These numbers are fantastic. Teachers, staff, parents, kids, keep up the great work, and certificated, classified. We appreciate all of you. We know you're working hard, and here's the proof right here. So thank you. We really appreciate you, and keep up the good work. Great job. Next, we have individual action items of business. Item 12A, approval of amendment number 2 to agreement for architectural services with SBA Architects, Mariposa Elementary School, modernization and new construction. So moved by Mr. Giles. Nora? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. 4-0. Any opposed? There's 4-1.
Maybe I'd like to know for the.
So,
Why is there an amendment?
These services were not included on the original amendment. They were not part of the original scope of work because it could not be fully defined or justified at the time. Once they went into it, the project initiated a design development progress in coordination with the regulatory agencies occurred, and that's when they said that we need these items done. We're working with CFW, we've got them here tonight. If you want them to speak, he can come and speak to it as well.
would you like to hear more information, Mr. Smith?
Welcome. It says a TSA requirement. It's a TSA requirement.
Next, we have item 12B. Approval of amendment number 005 to agreement for architectural services. SBA Architects for Sunnydale Elementary School Modernization and New Construction Project. Do we have a motion? Motion. Starlson.
Second.
By Mr. Giles. Any questions or concerns?
Actually, it's the same.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 4-1. So we have item 13, individual action items, educational services. 13A, approval of study trip to Ontario Convention Center for Amargosa Creek Middle School. Do we have a motion? Moved by Mr. Nguyen. By Ms. Usler. Questions or concerns? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 14A, individual action items, human resources, approval of variable term waiver for the 2025-26 school year. Leano Alonso, Gabriela Zamora, Martha Miranda, and approval of provisional internship permit for the 2025. Oh, they're separate. Okay.
Make a motion on the approval of variable.
Second. Motion by Mr. Giles. Second by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have approval of provisional internship permit for the 2025-26 school year for Dante Bell. We have a motion. Motion. By Ms. Usler, second by Ms. Starlson. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, we have approval of revised salary range for district pupil information communication officer. We have a motion. Moved by Mr. Nguyen, second by Mr. Giles. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 15, addressing the board. Individuals who wish to address the board may complete a speaker card presented in any supporting documents for the superintendent's assistant or other district official prior to the start of the meeting. Personal information such as a student, parent, guardian's name, address, phone number, date of birth, email address, or other directory information as defined in Ed Code 49061 may be excluded from the minutes of the meeting by submitting a written request to the superintendent. Board president shall recognize individuals who wish to speak. Individuals wishing to present testimony to the board concerning specific items on the agenda may do so once the item has been moved, seconded, is on the floor for discussion. Time limits of 3 minutes per person and 20 minutes per item shall be allowed. Board bylaws 9222. Board members may ask questions for clarification purposes. However, no action may be taken and no discussion may take place on an item not on the posted agenda. The Brown Act. Do you have any comments from BPA? CSCA? Al?
Hi, good evening, everyone. It's been a while since I've seen you. Good to be here tonight to help celebrate our good news. I've never had so many teachers approach me when I've been on sites to tell me their test scores and how many points they went up. And so that's been really nice. And you can feel the morale boost. So I'm very happy about that. I also wanted to specifically down to Paiute. I don't see anybody from Paiute. I happened to be out there last Thursday, I believe, during a fire drill. And so I got to talk to all the teachers. I didn't speak with any admin because, you know, they were busy, but I just wanted to share publicly how happy everybody was over at Paiute, and they feel like things are really turning around. And it was just really nice. The kids seemed very calm, and, you know, everybody seemed really happy. And as many times as I have to come and speak with you all about things that aren't going great, I feel like it's fair and reasonable to also share the really positive things. So hopefully you all get a chance to get out there to the sites and see that. It's really nice. It's nice not to have to kind of, you know, shield myself. So anyway, I hope you all are doing well, and I will be in touch. Hopefully I can meet and speak to all of you at some point and just kind of catch up. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Next, comments from the audience? There are no comments. Okay, next we have consent agenda item superintendent items 16A to 16L. Motion. Mrs. Starr. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion's carried 5-0. Next, that brings us to item 17, consent agenda items business, item 17A to 17N. Mr. Jones. And by Ms. Usler. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Next, item 18, consent agenda item ed services, item 18A to 18O. We have a motion. Mr. Nguyen. Second. Ms. Carlson. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 19, consent agenda items, human resources, items 19A to 19A. Moved by Mr. Giles. By Mr. Nguyen. Discussion. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 20, consent agenda items, student and family services, items 20A to 20E. We have a motion. Mr. Nguyen, second by Slip. Any discussion? All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Motion carries 5-0. Item 21, legislative and policy discussion. Second readings on there. They on any of these?
Most of them are law, you know, required by law, but it is what it is.
That brings us to comments from the board and superintendent. Mr. Carlson.
Congratulate all the students that participated in the red ribbon department test, and especially all the winners that were chosen. So congratulations to all the artists that were involved, as well as the winners that stood out, chosen for the honors, like being put on the billboard, which I think is pretty awesome. So I'm going to be looking. This Cochran, 17th in K, you said correct. 17th West in K. So awesome. Congratulations to all the new and future teachers that succeeded through your better program. Ms. Casey, great job with you and your teachers that are working hard to contribute to our future teachers in district. Dr. Wood, excellent report on the dashboard. Glad to see the advancements that we're making and that we're still working hard to achieve our goals. I appreciate that as well. And that's it. So keep up the good work.
Seisler.
Red ribbon winners, wonderful job. I being that. I was involved in doing it for a number of years. So it's nice. I'll be looking forward to on that billboard because it's pretty close to where I drive. Casey, the Better program. I really enjoyed hearing about it. I know that I heard about it a few years back as it was just getting started, and so it's neat to see that it's in the classroom and that there are some young people looking at getting into the profession that are being trained in a variety of techniques working with our children. And the dashboard, wow, Melissa, Chris, that was just amazing. So many years, I've seen this for, only with me 100 years, because I'm a baby. But, to see these types of games, just amazing. And I've got my fingers crossed, my toes crossed that, we can maintain it. And just even maintaining it, putting it the next year would be amazing. So thank you for that. We really, really enjoyed seeing it. So that just means a lot of what has been put in place. We're now starting to see the outcomes. Wonderful job. All of our teachers, wonderful job. Anybody working with our students in the classroom. So many extra people, that we're pushing in as well that are really helping. So thank you.
Great, thank you. And Mr. Jobs.
Okay, well, April said pretty much everything I'm going to say, but I'll say it again, I guess. Congratulations to our red ribbon winners and our program recipients. It's like a great program. Dashboard, like I said, wow, but this is what we all wait for. This is when you hey, everybody can pat themselves on the back. Everybody did a great job to get here, all the way to the bottom to the top, and we're so thankful that we're finally seeing the fruit of everybody's labors. So great job, everybody. What else was it? It's school board's appreciation month. So if you see a school board member, give them a if you can. Don't spit on them. Anyways, that's it.
Thank you, Chief. Mr. Wynn.
Thank you. Do you have any newly married people in the building? Raise your hand if you are. Okay. Congratulations. Very good. Would like to mention Moses here too, and Sam. Superintendent's list of events. Not list of events, but a list of donations is just awesome. It's This really shows what our community is doing for our district, for our students, for our families. We have some great principals, some here tonight. Really appreciate them. The people that bring this to us, Sam's or Rose's, and those that talk about this are fantastic. Lisa, thank you, and Kristen for dashboard information. I'm hoping that it does continue. I mean, the way it did this year, we were, I mean, I was, I'm sure everyone was thoroughly thrilled to see the improvements. And it's just fantastic. Ribbon, they all left here with nice gifts. And that's good because they did some great work. We had an increase of 10 students. It's always good to see that. Over 1,500 or 1,300 and some students. 13,000 and some students, that's great. But what's in still here is we have 1,133 homeless students within our district, along with 600 and some foster children. That's a tremendous, I don't want to say, it's hard on the teachers, it's hard on the administration, it's hard on those of us who have to go to the classrooms and see this. It's difficult because these students need our love, and I hope we continue to give it to them and improve like we have been doing. And Lisa, thank you for that ASA is still doing for our district. It's great. We really, really appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Wynn. Dr. Murray.
Yes, I do want to acknowledge all the hard work of our teachers and our staff, our sites and our administrators, all of our departments, specifically Ed Services and CIA, for all the hard work and success that we've had over the last several years. This is just the beginning. We're going to continue to grow and we're going to continue to flourish. We face tremendous adversity. There's a lot of things in our community that we struggle with, but our schools are a safe haven for our kids. Our schools are a shining city. And I just want to acknowledge everybody that's contributed, and none more so than our board of trustees, who it is trustees acknowledgement month. So we do want to acknowledge our board, but you know, I've worked with several boards over my career, and our board is tremendous in their willingness to do whatever it takes to support children in our community. So I also want to acknowledge them. And also, we just want to note that we're going to have a Lancaster Schools Facility Corporation meeting directly following this one. And it will not be televised.
Thank you, Dr. Murray. And just like to reiterate what everyone has said. Also wanted to thank Sean Baldwin for an awesome Christmas card, and that was from Jack Northrop Elementary. Thank you very much for that. And also to all the staff and parents and sites that also provided little Christmas cards and goodies. We definitely appreciate that. And looking forward to a great beginning of this year. Thank you again to everyone working together and for the betterment of our students, and always looking to see how we can improve on that and help them. And to our parents, thank you.
and how we can help support you as well. Meeting, everyone. We will adjourn. 7:07. We have a motion. So moved by Mr. Giles, seconded by Mr. Nguyen. All in favor? Aye. Carries. Have a good night, everyone. Unless you want to stay for the next meeting, we're starting it now.
You don't have to stay. I'm just kidding. Yeah, make a run for it.